So we see this today I deal with something called chain problems, which are very important. So these are called connected to something called conservation of energy. Conservation of energy. So this is the concept what we're talking about. uh, I gave some problems connected to power already. So this is the more or less you treat this as a last topic of this work power energy, and maybe by next class we will quickly move on to the rotational motion. So the conservation of energy part. So you have two things. One is the uh, W external work done by the external force plus the work done by non-conservative force, that's is equal to total energy final minus total energy initial. This is how we can take into consideration total energy final minus total energy initial. Total energy final means the kinetic energy final plus kinetic energy initial. Sorry, I done a blunder here. Just a minute. Kinetic energy final, total energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy final minus kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial. Okay, so this is not just conservation. This is what we have done is this is work energy theorem. Work energy theorem, this is a different form. When we consider the conservative forces, the negative of the conservative force, work done by the conservative force is nothing but the potential energy. I told that. So that can be written as the change in the potential energy. When we add it to the other side, this is how you get. Now, if the frictional force, frictional force, remember this, very important, frictional force and external force, external force, you have to remember this, very important, are absent, then the work done by those forces, the work done by the external force is zero, and the work done by the frictional force is also, that is a non-conservative force, that is also zero. Clear? In that case, you get kinetic energy final plus you potential energy final is equal to kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial. You can take this entire thing this side, because this entire stuff, this combination will reach zero. So this is how you get. Clear? Hope you are clear with this part. Please note up to here. And this equation is called conservation of mechanical energy. Conservation of mechanical energy. This equation is called conservation of mechanical energy. Today we deal some problems which are said to be they are connected with the chains. So the chain related problems are very important. The other type of problems are the spring related. If I find some time, I will do that. But the chain, I feel they are more important than the springs. That's what I feel. So we do the chain related problems today. Clear? Springs, I think I did a little bit about the springs. That part is sufficient. And this is the chains today. With that, we'll complete the topic. So can I clear this now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Now we see this that now let's consider the scenario that we have the table. So we have a chain which is placed on a table like this. Okay. And this table, let us consider this is a frictionless surface. Frictionless surface. So frictionless surface means the coefficient of friction mu is 0. This is the consideration. So frictionless surface is the situation what we take. And now this chain on the top of the table is of length 2L by 3. And the chain, the hanging part is L by 3. So I'll write separately. The hanging part of chain from table is about 2L by L by 3. Okay, this is the hanging part, that is L by 3. Total length of the chain is L. Total length of chain is L. Okay, hanging part of the chain from the table is L by 3. Resting part on the table, resting part of the chain on the table, resting part of the chain on the table is about 2L by 3. Now, is this clear? This part is clear. This is what given in the question. They have given a frictionless surface and the chain, part of the chain of 2L by 3 length is on the table and rest of the part is hanging down from the table. Okay. They call this point as A and they call this bottommost point as B. Note it. And now we'll write the question here. We have some space here. Find the velocity of the chain. Find the velocity of the chain. Find the velocity of the chain when point A slips off the table. When point A slips off the table. So this is what the question is. So please note it. This is the question. Once noted, please let me know. Noted, hopefully. Can I clear? Hello? Everyone, can I clear? Yeah, okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. No, fine. Now let me redraw the situation. I want to have this concept to be clear. Suppose there is a chain like this. It's a uniform chain of length L, okay, and the mass M. There is called linear mass density. This is what you have to know. Linear mass density is given by M by L. How it is useful? Suppose I take a length of X of the chain. What is the mass for length of X? Suppose I ask you to do that. Length of X. If you're asked to calculate, then it is nothing but the linear mass density, that is kg per meter. The units are kg per meter. So the linear mass density times the X. This is how you do. So simply you get this. This is the linear mass density is what you need. This factor you need. So this you have to remember. This is one aspect on which we work now. So clear, please note this. Please note this. And of course, I told you about the earlier class. I told you the center of mass. Center of mass lies exactly half of the length. Okay, whatever the length you consider, half of that length, the center of mass lies for the chains or rods or sort of things. This I expressed in the earlier class yesterday itself. Now, is this clear? This part noted?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Now, let's see this one. And now the chain is resting on the table, okay, of length of length. This is of L by 3 length and this is of 2L by 3 length, right? So this chain is resting on the table like this. And now you see the center of mass, where it lies. So where the exactly you see uh, the gravity acts. So the gravity acts exactly speaking at this point. Exactly, it's half of this length. Initially, this is how. So this is exactly half of L by 3, that is at the length of L by 6 it will act. So this we will take it as a reference line. This is called reference baseline. And we choose at this point, the potential energy at this point is 0. We choose like this. If I choose at this point to be 0, I am measuring the potential energy downwards now. Because I am measuring downwards, I get negative value here. And negative of L by 3, half of L by 3, that is L by 6 length. And the center of mass lies exactly of half. So I get the initial potential energy will be, and what is the length of this entire thing? So how do we calculate? I told you the mass per unit length times length of the chain is L by 3. So that is a factor 1. That is the mass of the length L by 3, M by L into L by 3. That is the mass. M by L into X, I just told you, into gravity into height. Height is L by 6 this time. Okay, hope you got it. And now you got to consider the center of mass length. So this happens to be MGL divided by 18, but with negative sign. Why negative sign? We have taken the baseline on the top. We're not considering the bottom baseline. We'll take the top one as the baseline reference. Okay, we can consider anything as a reference for that potential energy. Now, this is the initial potential energy. Now, what would be the initial kinetic energy? Because chain has not moved initially, the initial velocity is 0 for the chain. It has not moved at all. So the initial velocity is 0. So if I substitute half mu square, this part is 0. Initial kinetic energy is 0. So I got the first part, K initial plus U initial. Why I'm able to write the conservation of energy directly? I said the friction force is 0. No external forces, and then frictional force is 0. And what is the external force which is acting on it? That is only gravity that is coming here as the potential energy. So you don't have to worry at all. This part is 0 and UI. And now KF plus UF. Final kinetic energy and final potential energy. Now, when the point A is ejected out of the chain, what happens? The chain stands like this. The chain stands like this. When the point A comes out of the table, the chain stands like this. This is the point A and this is the point B. Let us say the chain falls like this down with a velocity of V. And now the final kinetic energy, I can write it as half mv square. How to find the final potential energy? Now the entire length of the chain is coming into the picture. And now the center of mass lies exactly at the center of the chain. That is at a height of L by 2. But what is a reference baseline? Reference baseline is here. So the chain slips off from here. You see this. Reference baseline is from here. So this mass, the center of mass is below the reference line. So we'll take the negative value as usual. So I get this is of length L by 2. So the U final becomes mgl by 2. Hopefully I'm clear. Now we have to just set these things here inside the equation. That's all we have to do. Once it is clear, I'll go ahead. Please let me know. Not clear? Can I clear this?
So we don't want to use negative sign, sir.
Sorry, Ma?
So negative sign we don't want to use, sir.
We have to put the negative sign at the U final. Yes, of course. You had to put the negative sign at the U final because it is below the baseline. We'll use that. Definitely we had to use that. Clear? Because everything is below the baseline. What we have chosen, we have to put the negative sign. Clear?
Okay, sir. So once again, can you tell that U final only, sir?
U final. See.
Yes.
This chain slips off the surface of the table. It is coming down. It slips off the surface of the table. Now entire chain stands like this at certain point of time, right? Vertical it stands. And now entire mass of the chain is coming into the picture. Where the center of mass means what? The entire mass of the system will be concentrating at one particular point. That is called center of mass. Are you getting me? So for
Yes,
a
sir.
kind of chain system or a rod system, you always have to consider the center of mass. So for the chain system, the center of mass lies exactly at the midpoint of the chain. Now, how to look at the midpoint? The entire length of the chain is L. The midpoint is at a distance of L by 2 from the baseline. Midpoint is a distance of L by 2 from the baseline. And the mass of the chain is M. mgh. mg into L by 2. But with the negative sign, because reference point we have taken on the top.
Yes, sir.
Clear? I hope I'm clear. So this is how to put. Anyway, we'll solve some 2 or 3 problems. Then you will understand there is reference point part and you'll understand it better. Don't worry much about that. Can I clear this? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now we just have to plug in the things. That's it. So you have K initial plus U initial is equal to K final plus U final. Okay. And now what is K initial? I said initially it has initial velocity is 0. So K initial is 0. So the U initial, what we got is negative of how much we got? negative of MGL by 18, right?
MGL by 18, sir.
MGL by 18. This is what we got. And K final is half MV square. And then U final is negative of MGL by 2. Right? Now, this is M. This is the capital M, mass of the chain. Now, let's plug in the things. Half MV square is nothing but MGL by 2 minus MGL by 18. This is what we got. Okay. And now, let us multiply with the 2 on both sides. So let's multiply with the 2 on both sides. So this 2, this is cancelled by 9 times, and this one is cancelled. Of course, the mass M also gets cancelled when you take common. So the mass M is also cancelled. So you got V square as, you see, GL, right? GL minus GL by 9. So V square is equal to 9GL minus GL, that is 8GL by 9. And now V happens to be square root of 8GL by 9. This is very important question for your NEET examinations. This is very, very important. This chain related problems. So they may give the length of the chain, or it's like this. This is one from the work power energy. This is how you can get. The next one is a chain in the semicircular tube. That is the next one. Concept number 2. Okay, clear this off, then we'll go for that. So this is the velocity of the chain when it slips off from the table. Okay, this is the velocity of the chain. What we got is velocity of the chain when it slips off. In fact, it's velocity or speed, you can say speed. In fact, that is better. Speed of chain when it slips off the table. When it slips off the table. So this is what you have to know. So that's square root of 8GL divided by 9. So that will be like meter second inverse. Units will be like meter second inverse. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now let's move on. The next case is like chain in a semicircular tube. This is, I tell you, these are some of the toughest concepts, I should say, but still got to understand this. I try to make it as easy as I can. So the situation is like this, but still there is a large possibility that these questions may be asked. This is the baseline situation. And now want to draw one semicircle. Okay. Okay, I cannot draw this. Okay, I will do like this. So as much as I can. I don't have the option of semicircle, but still. This is a semicircular tube. Hope you got it. This is a semicircular tube. In the semicircular tube, they marked it as end A and end B. And this is the center of that semicircle O. And it is having a radius of R. Okay, this is what they have given, radius of R. And now the situation is that they kept a chain inside this semicircular tube. They kept a chain inside this semicircular tube. Now it is like this. This covers the entire semicircle. Okay. Now chain in a semicircular tube we have taken. The chain covers the entire semicircle. Okay, semicircular tube it will cover. Now the question is that the chain starts falling from this end. Okay, chain starts falling from the right end. Chain starts falling from the right end, okay, of the tube. Chain starts falling from the right end of the tube. Okay. Find the velocity of the chain, velocity of the chain when the chain emerges out of the right end. When the chains B end emerges out of the tube. This is also like a very important question. So this is the very important. This is another very important question. Now please note. So when it emerges out of the tube, we get the situation like this only. The chain becomes like this. It becomes straight. And then it falls down. So this becomes B end, and A end goes here and the B end is here. This is the initial situation and this is the final situation. And now this we consider the friction. Tube is frictionless. Okay. This also I'll give you frictionless. Now we got to solve this problem. Tube is frictionless. This is the thing we consider. Okay, once noted, please let me know. Okay, done. Now, let's write the equations. So K final plus U final is equal to K initial plus U initial. That is what you have to know. And now, this is the system what we have considered. And the chain has to come out of this pipe. This is the situation what you have. The chain comes out of this pipe like this and then becomes straight. Okay. Now, can you tell me what would be the length of the chain? I would say the length of the chain is equal to pi r. Agreed? Because
Yes,
it covers the entire semicircle, right? So the length of the chain is pi r. And now where the center of mass lies for this chain? Exactly at the midpoint. And now this, so we will take this point as the reference, this point, okay? The ends of the tube, this is the baseline reference, okay? Baseline reference. At the baseline reference, always remember the potential energy at the baseline reference will be 0. It need not be always on the ground. At the baseline reference, the potential energy is 0. And now above the baseline, it will be positive. Below the baseline, it will be negative. So the chain came out below the baseline and it is of the length L by 2. L by 2 means pi r by 2, right? So the final potential energy will be mgl by 2, right? That's what we did just now. So this part is mg, but the L part is pi r. Now pi r whole divided by 2. Hope you got it. The final part, final potential energy. Final kinetic energy is half mv square. There is no problem in writing kinetic energy, but this part is below the baseline, so I have to give the negative sign. Hope it is clear. Clear? Why negative sign? Because this part is below the baseline, which has come out. I am writing the final part first. I hope I am clear. The first part, okay. Initial kinetic energy, initial velocity is 0. So initial kinetic energy part is 0. I need to find the initial potential energy. That is the one of the toughest tasks. But I told you about something about the quarter chain and the half chain. The quarter chain, I wanted you to remember the same answer is for the quarter chain. So okay, anyway, I will try to derive that. So actually the center of mass lies at the distance of 2r by pi. This one you please remember. For this is a shortcut for a semicircular chain, semicircular object or semicircular chain, okay, or if it defines a quarter circle, if it defines a quarter circle or a semicircle, this one, the center of mass is will be at a height of 2r by pi from the center of the chain. Okay, it is at a height of 2r by pi. Now you know the height. What is the mass of the chain? You know, as simple as that. This mass lies at this height. You know the height. You know the mass. So it is simply m into 2r into g whole divided by pi. 2mgr by pi. So this I told you earlier for the quarter chain. For the half chain or quarter chain, the formula is same. So this one you have to remember 2mgr by pi. And this one is half mv square. But this one is positive. Why? It is above the baseline. So it is positive. So minus you get pi mgr divided by 2. So let us cancel m. And I will multiply with the 2 on either side. So let's multiply with the 2 on either side so that this 2 can be cancelled out. Okay. So I get v square is equal to, I get pi gr plus 4gr by pi. Now gr, if I take common, I will get pi square plus 4, right? Pi square plus 4. This is what I get divided by pi. So v I can calculate, right? The v I can calculate as square root of gr into pi square plus 4 whole divided by pi. So this will be the velocity with which the chain will come out. This will the velocity with which when the point B, when it ejects out, that will be the velocity of the chain. So this is how one can compute the velocities of the chain. So you might be having a doubt how to compute this actually, potential energy. Okay, those who are interested, I will do in a quick time. So So how do we deal with the semicircular part? How do you exactly evaluate that this term 2mgr by pi? I'll tell you. Uh, so that's also some of the I feel that's important. 2mgr by pi. How to get that? That I will tell you. And after that, one or two questions with that we'll see here. Can I clear this one? Okay, right. Now, how do we deal with this? So consider the chain is like this. It's a semicircular chain. Okay. You have a semicircular chain like this. It is bent in the form of a semicircle. How do I find the potential energy of this situation? So this is not the toughest, but initially for the beginners, it will be really tough. So let us assume this is at the center O and this is R and this is R. Consider what we do is we'll consider a small mass that is dm and it subtends an angle of d theta at the center. And now someone is giving a chat. Yeah, please, someone is telling a doubt. Please, someone is telling a doubt. Yes, please. Hello, when you speak out only, I'll understand. Please, someone is having a doubt. So I am deriving this. Please, I'll be deriving it. Deriving it now. I know you are all having that confusions. I'll be deriving it now. So don't worry. I'm trying to post my chat, but it's not going. Yeah, I'll be doing. Yes, I know. I'll be doing that. That's what I'm doing. So how that's what on the top of it, how do I derive? That's the first one. And the second one, both the things I will do. Don't worry. First look in here. Maybe in the next class also we'll meet and I will explain on board and so that you will all understand. First you watch it. And now assume that there is a dm mass is there. It subtends an angle of d theta first of all. So I am deriving the condition for the potential energy in the case of when the chain is bent in the form of a semicircle. So consider the semicircle and assume that there is a mass of dm and it subtends an angle of d theta. And this angle, the dm makes with the, I assume that this is the horizontal x-axis with x-axis makes an angle of theta. And now this is r, that is the radius of the semicircle, that is r. And now the mass dm, you can calculate it, how much height it is there, right? So the h is actually r sine theta. When you do that sine theta, you get sine theta is equal to h by r. So from this triangle, you can measure that this is the perpendicular. You can find that sine theta is equal to h by r. So h is equal to r sine theta. You get this. Now, after that, what is the potential energy? The small potential energy of the mass dm, dpe, or you can say du. What is the small potential energy of the mass dm? That is the mass into g into the height, dm into g into h. So dm into g into h is r sine theta. Substitute that first. So I got it up to here. Here you see the chain here at this point is, so if you consider this piece of the chain, this is having a different potential energy. This point is having different potential energy. This point is having different potential energy. So the thing is that you got to measure the potential energy of the entire semicircle. So the potential energy varies as a function of theta. Theta runs from 0 to pi. That is fine. There is another thing, the mass dm. So how to write the mass dm in terms of, how do we do that? So this is of, let us say this is of length dx. So how do I find the length dx? You know that in the semicircle, it describes an angle d theta. Dx happens to be r into d theta, right? And what is the mass of dx? I just told you how to do that. So dx will have a mass of, how do I do that? Suppose the length mass is there, L is the length, m by L into, right? L here dx is there, so m by L into dx, right? M by L into dx I can do. For dx will have a mass of m by L into dx. Okay. But dx is r d theta. So what is the mass of dm? Dm I can write it as m by L into r d theta. Hope I am clear with this. See, suppose if I consider a chain of length L and the mass m, I just told you about linear mass density m by L. If suppose I cut a part of the chain of length dx and it is having a mass dm, how do I find the mass of that? The mass dm is nothing but m by L into dx. But dx is equal to, we know in the sector dx is nothing but r d theta. So from that I got this relation, this one, m by L into r d theta. So I get m by L into r d theta times gr times sine theta. There is not something else is also there. Now what is L here? What is the length of the chain? Length of the chain is pi r. I just told you. Agreed. Length of the chain is nothing but pi r because it is semicircle. So just substitute that one also. M by pi r into r into gr into sine theta d theta. This is how I get. And now 1r gets cancelled over here. So I get mgr by pi into sine theta d theta. This is what I get. Please note it up to here. And now simply later to get the total potential energy, I need to integrate between 0 to pi. That's it. With that I get noted, clear. I hope this side I will write what I have to do. Noted this side.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So here we integrate to get the total potential energy of this bent circular chain. So the total potential energy one can derive like this. The potential energy is nothing but this we have integrated. This is what we have to do. So potential energy is integral 0 to pi. Because this is the angle 0, this is angle pi, mgr by pi sine theta d theta. Now mgr by pi is a constant, so this can come out of the integral. So you have mgr by pi, so this is integrated 0 to pi sine theta d theta. Integral sine theta is negative cos theta. So I'll clear this part. So I have to work out this integral. The potential energy is mgr by pi. That is like you have the negative cos theta under the limits 0 to pi. This is what you have. And now negative sign keeps outside. So you have mgr by pi. And now what you get is cos pi minus cos 0. Cos pi is -1 and cos 0 is 1. So we'll clear this part also. And this delivers minus mgr by pi. And this is -1, -1. This gives -2. -2 into minus is plus. So you get 2 mgr divided by pi. That's how you get the potential energy of the circular chain, which is bent in the form of a semicircle. This is the derivation, complete derivation. The shortcut is like it's the center of mass exactly lies at a point away from the center at a distance of 2r by pi. The center of mass lies at this point. So above the baseline at this point it lies. The entire mass is m. So you get 2 mgr by pi. That is straight way of getting that. That's a shortcut. If you don't understand the shortcut, you please remember this. I told you to remember this formula, very important. Even for a quarter arc, you get the same situation. That's what we are going to solve in the next. Clear? Can I clear this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, the next one. So this time, I have a pipe which forms a quarter arc. Okay, this is the situation. Now I have a pipe which is a quarter arc. I have a pipe which makes a quarter arc. And now a chain lies inside this quarter arc. So it fills the entire quarter arc. So it's a quarter circle, want to say. The chain fills inside the quarter circle, and this is the B and this is the A. And the chain emerges out like this. As well situation. Find the velocity of B. Find the velocity at the B end. When it just emerges out from the lower end. When it just emerges out from the lower end. When it just emerges out from the lower end, how do we solve this question? So it's the same funda wise, it's the same. So how do we do that? It's the same thing. So K initial plus U initial is equal to, of course, no friction. Okay. Consider the situation that there is no friction at all. So K initial plus U initial is equal to K final plus U final. This is what you have. Okay. And now the similar situation is similar. So K initial is 0. Initially, it doesn't have any velocity. U initial, this is the reference point we consider. So I told you, it will have, even you take a quarter arc or you take the semicircular arc, the potential energy is same. So can I clear this? Okay, once you note, we'll do that. Only a few things. The length of the chain only will matter. That's it. Once noted, please let me know.
Noted, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'll clear this question. Now I told you the U initial for a quarter arc or a circular arc, you can derive the same way what I did. So you get the K initial is 0. U initial will be 2mgr divided by pi. Okay. So that is the U initial, and the K final is half mv square. That means this has emerged out and it has come like this. And this is the B and this is the A, and it has emerged out like this. And now at the center, this is what I want now. So what would be the length of the chain now? Anyone guess and tell me?
L by 2, sir.
L by 2 is okay, but L, what is L actually? What is L? Pi r by 2?
Pi r by 2, sir.
Yeah, pi r by 2. So that's it. So negative, because it goes below the baseline. So negative. So negative mgr by 2 mgr pi divided by 2. That's how I get, right? So the cancel the factor and then multiply with the factor 2 over here all the way. Am I right? No. mgr by 4. I had to put why 4? Because I had to consider half of the length. This entire length is pi r by 2. And the center of mass lies at pi r by 4. Right? Half of this, that is pi r by 4. And now but negative sign because it has come below the baseline. So mg r pi by 4. And now I multiply the entire both sides with 4. So that I get 8 and then cancel the mass m. And then this becomes 8 gr by pi plus gr pi, that is equal to 2v square, because I multiplied with 4. Please understand, I am multiplying with 4 on either side. So 2v square, this becomes 2v square. This is what I get. And now let me clear. So what do I get? So here take the LCM. So GR, let's take common. GR, let's take common. So that becomes 8 plus pi square whole divided by pi is equal to exactly equal to 2v square. And then v happens to be square root of gr by 2 into 8 plus pi square divided by pi. So this is how you get the equations of the velocity. So that's really fantastic. So that's how you get. Or you can see this kind of answer. V is equal to square root of gr by 2 pi into 8 plus pi square meter second inverse. This is how you see the answers. These are the chain related problems. Some of the, I would say that these are some of the toughest things, toughest problems. So you can approach the same way as I did before for the semicircle, but this time in the case of the quarter circle, you have to run from 0 to pi by 2. That's only the change in the integral. 0 to pi by 2, but the length of the chain you will substitute as pi r by 2. Both will compensate each other to get the same answer, 2 mgr by pi. Shall we derive for the quarter circle also? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll derive for the quarter circle also, so that you will have all your fears will be going off. So we'll do that. For the quarter circle, how do you solve? So let us say that this condition will derive that. Okay, you will not have any troubles later. So next time you have to know this fundas, because why I am doing this one, this is a reason also, because when we start rotational motion, these fundas you need, otherwise you cannot solve any rotation motion problem. So these are the fundamentals you need. So please learn now itself, and then get these things clarified. So this is the quarter circle, and the chain is along the quarter circle. Okay, chain is bent in the form of a quarter circle. Okay, so along the quarter circle, the chain is bent along the quarter circle. And now what we do, this is the quarter circle, and then it runs from 0 to pi by 2, 0 to 90, 0 to pi by 2. And now what we do is we'll cut a small mass dm. If you want to note the steps, you note the steps. We'll cut a small mass dm. Okay, we'll cut a small mass dm. I'll put a different color. We'll cut a small mass dm. After cutting the small mass, you had to make an arc from it. Okay, you have to make a small sector portion from it. So I will do that in a different way. Okay, I will do that. Maybe it's not clear. I will use this straight lines. Okay, I never used the straight line option earlier, but now I'll use. So this is how you get. Okay, that's how. Okay, got it. Now this subtends an angle of d theta. Dm mass will subtend an angle of d theta, and dm mass will be of length dx. Okay, clear? Is this part clear? And this subtends an angle of theta with respect to x-axis. These are the things you have to know. And the dm mass will be at a height of h from the ground. Clear? Is this part clear, everyone? Noted.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to find h. How to find h? Just find sine theta from it. Sine theta is nothing but h by r. H divided by r, this triangle. If you consider this is O, let us say this is something you want to consider, or something OAB, something like this. Okay, in this triangle, h divided by r, that is the hypotenuse. So h is equal to r sine theta. Same thing, r sine theta. And now the next part is you have to find the mass dm in terms of the mass of the entire chain. Now the mass of the entire chain is m, and linear mass density LMD, how much? M by L. What is the length of the chain now? It is quarter circle, so it is pi r by 2, right? L is equal to pi r by 2, m divided by pi r by 2. So 2m by pi r, that is the linear mass density. Clear? Is this one clear? First linear mass density is what we got, that is 2m by pi r for this chain. Is this part clear?
Yes, sir.
Now dm mass is of length dx. Dm mass is of length dx, right? It is of length dx. So what will the mass of the length portion dx? Linear mass density into dx. So that is 2m by pi r. into dx, right? We got it. Now how to calculate dx? You know, this is a sector. If there is a sector, it subtends an angle theta. This is r. And what is L? L equal to r theta. Same funda. Now this dx subtends an angle d theta, and this is the r. So what is dx now? Dx becomes r d theta. Got it? And now substitute that. So I get the dm as, this is the most important step, dm as 2m by pi r times dx, that is r d theta, right? R gets cancelled, finished. So 2m by pi d theta. This we got. Now dm is equal to 2m by pi d theta. I got it. Now after that, this is a very simple step. Now potential energy of the mass dm, so it will be dp only or du, because it is very small. The very small potential energy of the mass dm is du, that is nothing but dm mass into g into h, right? mgh, that is potential energy. So du is equal to, what is dm? 2m by pi into d theta into g into h is r sin theta, right? We got this, h equal to r sin theta. Plug in that. And now I want to find the total potential energy. Total potential energy is integral 0 to pi by 2, because it is a quarter circle. Here this is 0, this is pi by 2. 0 to pi by 2. So 2m by pi into gr, right? 2m by pi gr times sin theta d theta. This is what I have. Right? Written up to here. Now next is integral only. The integral gives you 1 now. Earlier that integral gives you 2, this integral gives you 1. So you get 2m gr by pi. Simple as that. Clear? Can I clear this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now we'll clear this part. So I have, what do I have now? So you have this u is equal to 2m gr by pi is out. By pi, that is out. And again, you will integrate 0 to pi by 2. You have sin theta d theta. And now integral sin theta is negative cos theta. That you have to know. All of you must know that. Integral sin theta d theta is negative cos theta. This one you have to know. So when I substitute that, you get 2m gr by pi. What you get is negative cos theta under the limits 0 to pi by 2. So negative sign, let's take it out. So let me take the negative sign out. So when I take the negative sign out, so I get like minus 2 mgr by pi. And now cos theta, that is cos pi by 2 minus cos 0. What is the value of cos pi by 2? Cos pi by 2 is 0. Cos 0 is 1. So negative 1 will come from here. Negative into negative is positive. So you got 2 mgr by pi. That's the potential energy of a, what is this, quarter circle. quarter. Okay, so that is 2 mgr by pi. In fact, what is the correct English terminology? It says that the chain is bent in the form of a quarter circle. That's what. Then the potential energy of that chain is given by 2 mgr by pi. Even if it is bent in the form of a semicircle, you will get the same answer. The center of mass will not vary. That is the thing. When you bent it in the form of a quarter circle or you bent it in the form of a semicircle, the center of mass of the system is not going to vary. But if you complete full circle, it will go at the center. Please remember that. when, when you bent it in the full circle, then the center of mass will be at the center of the circle. But for the semicircle, all these things, it will be at exactly 2r by pi. Okay. The center of mass in this case will be like at 2r by pi, at a distance of 2r by pi from the center. Got it, everyone? Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma. We'll close today. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you all. Thanks for joining.